Have you ever felt trapped, yet you can't quite put your finger on what's holding you back? Like an invisible cage built not from iron bars, but from your own thoughts, fears, and doubts? If so, you're not alone. In fact, this silent prison, this unseen torment resides in every human heart. And today, we're going to open that cage door together. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it shakes the very foundation of what you believe about freedom, happiness, and yourself. Because here's the brutal truth. Most of us live shackled by illusions of freedom while remaining prisoners of our unconscious patterns. We wander through life chasing fleeting pleasures, validation, or success, all the while blind to the real chains, our internal struggles that bind us. Look closely. What is freedom really? Is it the absence of external constraints or something far deeper, more elusive? Philosophers from Plato to Nietzsche wrestled with this question, exposing the hidden dynamics of the human condition. Plato imagined our lives like prisoners in a cave, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality itself. We often do the same, confusing distractions, social approval, or material gain for true freedom. But just like those cave prisoners, we remain chained, afraid to face the blinding light of our inner truth. Think about Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who stood against tyranny not only with his actions, but with fierce moral clarity. He knew that external liberation without internal courage is hollow. True freedom demands that we confront our deepest fears and hypocrisies, the dark psychology lurking within us. You might be thinking, but I'm not trapped. I'm making choices every day. And that's exactly the illusion that Machiavelli warned about. We like to believe we're masters of our fate, yet often we are slaves to our desires, biases, and unexamined beliefs. We play roles scripted by society, culture, even by ourselves, without questioning the play. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who lived in a grand mansion surrounded by thick walls and locked gates. From the outside, it seemed he had everything: wealth, status, respect. Yet every day he looked out the window, longing for the wide-open world beyond. But he never tried to open the door. Why? Because he was convinced the outside was dangerous, unpredictable, and that his cage was the only safe place. That man is a reflection of many of us. The cage inside our minds is built from fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. Nietzsche famously said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." But what if you don't know your why? What if the why you cling to is just a borrowed purpose, a script written by others, or an ego's desperate attempt to avoid chaos? Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort we feel when reality clashes with our beliefs. To reduce that pain, we often double down on comforting lies instead of facing hard truths. And this self-deception is the deepest form of bondage. Imagine waking up every day to realize you're living on autopilot, not truly free but conditioned by family, media, your own shadow. The existentialists like Sartre and Camus argued that we are condemned to be free, meaning freedom is both a blessing and a terrifying burden. Because freedom forces us to confront the void within ourselves, the meaninglessness that we desperately try to fill. Here's the twist no one tells you. True freedom doesn't come from acquiring more money, more control, more certainty. It comes from embracing your vulnerability, your chaos, your contradictions. Plato's cave was not just a prison, but a place where the prisoner's world could be overturned. When you turn and walk toward the light, you don't just gain knowledge, you gain the courage to question your own reality. But be warned, that journey is lonely. It's uncomfortable. It disrupts relationships and social harmony, because it forces others to question their own shadows too. Yet it is the only path to authenticity. So what does this mean for you, sitting there watching this video? It means your internal cage is real, and only you hold the key. The question is, are you willing to face the darkness inside? To confront the lies you tell yourself every day? To risk discomfort for a chance at true freedom? Because freedom is not a destination. It's a daily choice to look inward, to break patterns, to see your own shadow clearly, and then to decide how to live anyway. In the words of Bonhoeffer, when Christ calls a man, he bids him come and die. Die to the false self, to the illusions, to the safety of conformity. Only then can the authentic self be born. The cage may feel safe now, but safety is a trap disguised as comfort. You were made for more clarity, more courage, more truth. So ask yourself, will you stay a prisoner of your own making? Or will you step into the light, no matter how blinding it seems? Because beyond the cage lies freedom. Not the freedom you imagined, but a deeper, rawer, and infinitely more powerful kind. The freedom to be truly yourself. And that freedom begins the moment you choose to see.